More than 100 shipwrecks are buried in the San Francisco Bay, which can only lead one to ask, what makes shipwrecks so common in the waters surrounding San Francisco? To understand this question further, one needs to look at the geography and climate of the bay. The small entrance through the Golden Gate is less than a mile in width at its shortest point near the bridge. Three factors at play can hamper a ship's ability to cross through the Golden Gate: the currents, the notorious San Francisco fog, and the sea floor. To begin, the natural flow of tides in and out of the bay are constantly shifting. Twice a day, millions of gallons of water pour into and out of the bay from the Pacific Ocean. These tides can produce unpredictable currents and have led to captains losing control of their ships. The shipwreck of the schooner Aberdeen in 1916 is one of the greatest examples of strong currents commandeering a vessel. The boat and its 8 crew members would load up with garbage in Oakland 3 times a week and take their haul to the Farallon Islands, crossing through the bay. While returning to Oakland, the ship encountered 95-mile-per-hour winds and rough seas, ultimately capsizing and splitting in two. Pieces of the vessel can be seen here, after washing up on Ocean Beach in the days following the wreck. Sadly, no crew members survived the horrible accident. The famous San Francisco fog is the second contributing factor to shipwrecks. Sometimes, it can be so dense that one can only see feet in front of them. Lack of visibility has also led to many shipwrecks in the bay. Collision due to fog is what happened early on a January morning in 1971, when 2 oil tankers, the Standard Arizona and the Standard Oregon, collided with each other under the Golden Gate Bridge. Crews had issues with radar equipment, and the ability to see another ship and prevent disaster was gone. Though no crew members were injured, the collision resulted in an estimated 500,000 gallons of oil leaking into the bay, and decimated local wildlife as a result. Oil quickly spread all around thanks to the constant back and forth of tides discussed earlier. The third factor at play lies beneath the water. Much of the floor of the bay, historically uneven, has been lowered through practices such as dynamiting or dredging to remove unseen hazards that lurk below the surface. It also has made way for the larger vessels of recent history, like oil tankers and freight ships, that no longer fear what lies below. The dramatic man-made changes to the floor of the bay have also contributed to erratic currents for seafarers on the surface, however. In tandem with fog and unruly currents, many ships have wound up wrecked along the rocky coastline of the bay after loss of navigational control. This was the case with the steam schooner Yosemite, which smashed into the rocks below Point Reyes on a foggy day in 1926 and began to fill with water. After several days of trying to save the ship and tow it ashore, the boat ultimately broke free and smashed into the shoreline below the cliff house. The wreck brought thousands of spectators to Ocean Beach, seeking souvenirs and pictures of the wreckage seen here. These 3 factors, the currents, the fog, and the sea floor, are what has made entrance into the San Francisco Bay historically treacherous for seafarers. Modern technology and regulations have made it much easier to navigate the bay, and shipwrecks are not as common as a result. Still, the long history of shipwrecks in San Francisco Bay highlights just how unique and treacherous these waters are.